The ultimatum. The massive holographic projection flickered to life in the United Earth Council chamber, casting an eerie blue glow across the faces of Earth's assembled leaders. The alien figure that materialized was tall and imposing, with silver-scaled skin, and 4 obsidian eyes arranged in a diamond pattern on its elongated face. Grand Arbiter Zax Kren of the Galactic Council folded his 6-fingered hands before him, his expression unreadable to human eyes. Admiral Helena Rice, Earth's foremost military commander, stood straight-backed beside President Amara Chen. Neither woman betrayed any emotion, though the tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. People of Earth, the alien's voice resonated with a harmonic quality that seemed to bypass their ears and speak directly to their minds. The Galactic Council has deliberated on your petition for recognition. As a Level 3 civilization that has achieved faster-than-light travel, you are granted provisional membership in our Covenant of Worlds. President Chen stepped forward. We are honored, Grand Arbiter. Honor comes with obligation. Zax Kren continued, his tone shifting. The Council's protection requires tribute. All member species contribute according to their capabilities. A data packet materialized on the screens of every official present. As they scanned the contents, faces darkened. Admiral Raya's knuckles whitened as she gripped the edge of the table before her. This is impossible, Chen said, her voice carefully controlled. You demand 30% of our global production of rare earth elements, unlimited access to our quantum computing research, and... She paused, looking up with barely concealed outrage. Genetic samples from 1 million humans. These terms are standard for species at your development stage, Zax Kren replied coolly. The Council has maintained galactic order for 12,000 years through this system. Those who contribute are protected. Those who refuse. The alien made a dismissive gesture with one hand. History does not remember them. President Chen maintained her composure. We request time to consult with our global leadership. You have 14 Earth days, the Grand Arbiter declared. We await your wise decision. The hologram dissolved, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. Once the transmission cut, Chen slammed her fist on the table. That's not a diplomatic agreement. It's extortion. Admiral Rice nodded grimly. It's worse than that, Madam President. Those resource demands would cripple our industrial capacity, but it's the research access that concerns me most. They're not asking for our current quantum computing technology. They want unrestricted access to our research facilities. Dr. Eli Yoshida, Earth's leading quantum physicist, stepped forward. They're specifically targeting our developments in quantum entanglement communication. If I'm reading these demands correctly, they want to ensure we don't advance beyond a certain technological threshold. A system designed to keep younger species subordinate, Chen concluded. Admiral, what are our options? Militarily, we're outmatched. The limited scans we've obtained of their vessels indicate technology centuries beyond ours. Conventional resistance would be suicide. The chamber erupted in voices, some advocating compliance to buy time, others arguing that submission would mean the end of human independence. Silence, Chen commanded. When order was restored, she turned to Dr. Yoshida. Doctor, you've been unusually quiet. Your thoughts? The physicist's eyes gleamed. There's something odd about their demands, Madam President. They're fixated on our quantum research, yet they've overlooked something potentially more significant. Explain. 6 months ago, my team at Tokyo Advanced Sciences discovered an anomaly in our deep space quantum field experiments. We've been keeping it classified, but... He glanced around the room. We discovered that consciousness itself affects quantum states in ways we never anticipated. We've developed rudimentary technology that can amplify human neural patterns and project them through quantum fields. Admiral Rice frowned. In plain English, Doctor, we can affect matter at a distance through focused thought. It's primitive, but we've moved objects in our lab. The effect grows stronger with multiple humans focusing together. President Chen leaned forward. And you believe the Council doesn't know about this. Their demands make no mention of our consciousness research. They're fixated on traditional quantum computing. A slow smile spread across Admiral Reyes' face. Because no other species has discovered this particular application. Exactly, Yashida nodded. Human brains appear to have a unique neural structure that facilitates this quantum interaction. It may be our only advantage. President Chen paced the chamber. So we have a potential weapon they don't know about, but it's experimental at best. How long to develop it into something useful? With unlimited resources, perhaps 10 days, Yashida replied. Chen nodded decisively. Then we have our plan. Admiral Rice, you'll coordinate with Dr. Yashida. Every available resource goes to this project, codenamed Operation Defiance. Publicly, we'll appear to be deliberating the Council's terms. And if it doesn't work? Someone asked. Chen's gaze hardened. Then humanity joins the list of species history doesn't remember. But we do so on our feet, not our knees. The next 10 days transformed the hidden facility beneath the Antarctic ice shelf into the busiest research center on Earth. Scientists and military personnel worked around the clock, while above ground, Earth's diplomats made a show of debating the Council's terms. Dr. Yashida's team made breakthrough after breakthrough. They discovered that groups of humans focusing their thoughts through the quantum amplifiers could generate effects far more powerful than any individual. The challenge was controlling those effects with precision. It's like learning to play a musical instrument with your entire species, Yashida explained to Admiral Reyes as they observed a test. In the chamber below, 20 volunteers sat in a circle, neural interfaces attached to their temples. At the center of their circle, a 1-ton steel sphere hovered 3 meters off the ground, rotating slowly. Impressive, Reyes acknowledged. But can it stop a plasma cannon? That's what we're working toward, Yashida said. But there's something more interesting happening. Watch. On his signal, the test subjects changed their focus. The sphere didn't just move. It shimmered and partially phased out of visible reality, becoming translucent. What am I looking at? Reyes demanded. They're shifting the object partially out of our dimensional plane, Yashida explained, excitement evident in his voice. We discovered this by accident yesterday. With enough mental focus, we can move objects, or potentially people, into a parallel phase state, making them untouchable. Essentially, yes. Conventional weapons would pass right through. Admiral Reyes stared at the hovering, shimmering sphere. How many people would it take to shield a city? A planet. Thousands working in concert. We're developing an amplification network that could connect millions. The technology is rudimentary, but a lieutenant burst into the observation room. Admiral, President Chen needs you both immediately. The Council's fleet has been detected entering the solar system. They're ahead of schedule. Reyes and Yashida exchanged alarmed glances. How many ships? The Admiral asked. Over 300 vessels, ma'am. The largest is approximately the size of Manhattan. Reyes turned to Yashida. Is Operation Defiance ready? The physicist swallowed hard. It will have to be. As they rushed to the command center, Reyes received a direct communication from President Chen. Admiral, the Council is demanding an immediate answer. Their fleet will reach Earth orbit in 6 hours. What's our status? We have a functioning prototype, Madam President, but it's untested in combat conditions. There was a brief silence on the line. Then we've run out of options and time. Implement Operation Defiance. I'm issuing a global alert and activating the neural network. Every volunteer we've trained will be connected. And our official response to the Council. Chen's voice hardened. Tell them humanity respectfully declines their generous offer. We choose to stand alone. As Admiral Reyes ended the call, she turned to Dr. Yashida. Well, Doctor, it seems humanity's fate now rests on your discovery. Let's hope the unique structure of the human mind is enough to save us all. Throughout Earth, millions of volunteers prepared to connect to the quantum amplification network, ready to focus their collective consciousness into humanity's first and possibly last line of defense against the approaching armada. The confrontation. Grand Arbiter Zaxkren's massive flagship, the Eternal Dominion, led the Council's armada into Earth's orbit precisely 5 hours after their ultimatum. 300 ships arranged themselves in perfect formation, a display of power designed to awe the primitive humans into submission. The message was clear. Resistance was not merely futile, it was inconceivable. In the United Earth Defense Command beneath Geneva, President Chen and her crisis team monitored the approaching fleet. The neural network connecting over 5 million human volunteers hummed with activity as Dr. Yoshida made final adjustments to the quantum amplification system. Incoming transmission from the Council flagship, announced Communications Director Patel. On screen, Chen ordered. Zaxkren's imposing figure materialized before them. President Chen, your deliberation period has concluded prematurely due to certain concerning activities we've detected on your planet. What is your response to the Council's generous terms? Chen stood tall, her voice steady. Grand Arbiter, humanity has considered your proposal carefully. We must respectfully decline. The alien's 4 obsidian eyes narrowed, and the temperature in the room seemed to drop. I advise you to reconsider, President Chen. No species has ever refused and survived. Perhaps that says more about the Council than it does about those species, Chen replied. Humanity will not surrender its autonomy or its future. A future requires survival, Zaxkren stated coldly. You have 1 hour to reconsider before we begin planetary pacification procedures. As the transmission ended, Admiral Reyes turned to Chen. They're powering weapons systems across the fleet. Estimate 30 minutes before they're fully charged. Then we have 30 minutes to ready our defense, Chen replied. Dr. Yoshida. Status. The physicist's fingers flew across his console. The neural network is at 93% capacity. 5,200,000 humans connected worldwide. The quantum field generators are online and stable. And you're certain this will work? Chen asked. Yoshida met her gaze. In theory, yes. The combined mental energy of millions of humans, properly focused through the quantum field, should create a phase shield around Earth. Anything passing through it will be shifted slightly out of our reality. In theory, Admiral Reyes repeated grimly. It's more than theory, Yoshida insisted. We've successfully tested it on increasingly larger objects. The principles are sound. But never on a planetary scale, Reyes countered. There's a first time for everything, Admiral, Yoshida replied with a nervous smile. Especially when there's no alternative. Chen nodded decisively. Activate the system, Doctor. Let's show the Council what humanity can do when backed into a corner. Throughout the world, volunteers in neural interface centers focused their thoughts as one. From school teachers in Tokyo to farmers in Kenya, factory workers in Brazil to programmers in Finland, humanity united in a single purpose: survival. In the command center, a holographic representation of Earth glowed blue as the quantum field strengthened. Yoshida monitored the readings, his expression shifting from anxiety to wonder. It's working, he whispered. The field is stabilizing faster than projected. Above them, the Council fleet completed its weapons charging sequence. The Eternal Dominion fired first, a brilliant beam of energy that lanced toward Earth's atmosphere. Everyone in the command center held their breath as the beam approached the planet. When it reached the outer edge of the quantum field, the impossible happened. The energy beam shimmered, distorted, and passed harmlessly through the planet, as if Earth existed in a slightly different reality. Direct hit on the quantum field, Yoshida reported, his voice trembling with excitement. 0 penetration. The beam passed through phased space. More weapons fire followed, hundreds of energy beams from the Council fleet, all passing harmlessly through Earth's newly established phase shield. On the monitors, Council ships registered confusion, adjusting their weapons, trying different frequencies and attack vectors, all to no avail. "They can't touch us," Admiral Rice said in disbelief. "Incoming transmission," announced Director Puddle. Grand Arbiter Zach Skren appeared again, his composure noticeably fractured. "What technology is this? Our scans detected nothing that could explain this defense." President Chen allowed herself a small smile. "It appears the Council's assessment of human capabilities was incomplete, Grand Arbiter." "Impossible. We've monitored every technological advancement your species has made." "Yet you missed something fundamental about humanity," Chen replied. "Something unique to our species that your monitoring couldn't detect." Before Zach Skren could respond, Dr. Yoshida spoke urgently. "Madam President, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the Council flagship. They appear to be preparing some form of dimensional weapon." Admiral Rice studied her tactical display. "They're focusing their entire fleet's energy into a single point. Whatever they're planning, it's big." Chen turned back to the Grand Arbiter. "It seems you're preparing another attempt to breach our defenses. I strongly advise against it. You cannot maintain this shield indefinitely." Zach Skren snarled. "No species possesses such technology." "That's where you're wrong," Chen replied. "Our shield isn't powered by technology alone, but by humanity itself, by the unique properties of human consciousness interacting with quantum fields, something your Council has apparently never encountered." On cue, Dr. Yoshida activated the second phase of Operation Defiance. The quantum field surrounding Earth pulsed, expanding outward toward the Council fleet. As it washed over the alien vessels, their systems flickered and destabilized. "What is happening?" demanded Zach Skren as the lights on his flagship dimmed. "We're giving you a demonstration," Chen explained calmly. "Our quantum field can be extended beyond mere defense. Right now, we're disrupting the phase alignment of your ship's power systems. We could, if we wished, push your entire fleet permanently out of phase with our reality." The implications were clear. Humanity could effectively erase the Council armada from existence with a thought. Aboard the Council vessels, panic spread as systems failed and weapons went offline. The dimensional weapon they had been preparing collapsed in on itself, creating a localized distortion that damaged several of their own ships. "Cease this attack immediately," Zach Skren demanded. Chen's expression hardened. "This isn't an attack, Grand Arbiter. It's a negotiation. Humanity declines your tribute demands, but we are willing to discuss equitable terms for joining the galactic community. As equals, not as subjects." For several tense moments, Zach Skren was silent, his alien features unreadable. Finally, he spoke. "The Council has existed for 12,000 years. In that time, no species has ever—" He paused. "This situation is unprecedented. History is full of unprecedented moments," Chen replied. "This is simply humanity's first contribution to galactic history. I suggest we form a new type of relationship, one based on mutual respect rather than subjugation." The quantum field surrounding the Council fleet eased, allowing their systems to stabilize. It was a calculated risk, but Chen knew that genuine diplomacy required good faith. "The Council will consider your proposal," Zach Skren finally conceded. "A delegation will remain to establish diplomatic relations. The rest of our fleet will withdraw to respectful distance." After the transmission ended, the command center erupted in cheers. President Chen turned to Dr. Yoshida and Admiral Rice. "This is just the beginning. The Council won't easily abandon 12,000 years of tradition. But they'll think twice before threatening Earth again," Rice said with satisfaction. Yoshida looked thoughtful. "The most fascinating aspect is how our discovery changes humanity's understanding of consciousness itself. The quantum connection between mind and matter opens possibilities we've barely begun to explore." Chen nodded. "For now, let's focus on establishing our new position in the galactic community. Humanity just earned itself a seat at the table no one thought we deserved." She gazed at the holographic display, showing the Council fleet beginning its withdrawal. "And we did it not through superior weapons or technology, but through the one thing that truly makes humans exceptional: our united will to survive and thrive against any odds. As news of humanity's stand against the Galactic Council spread across Earth, a new era dawned. For the first time in 12,000 years, the established order of the galaxy faced a fundamental challenge, not from warships or advanced technology, but from the unique power of the human mind and spirit. Humanity had not merely survived first contact, they had transformed it into a moment that would reshape galactic history forever.